Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com and a quick first impressions gameplay video for Mobius Final Fantasy, a turn-based tactical RPG on desktop and mobile, developed and published by Square Enix. I spent 10 to 15 minutes on the ground checking this game out. Make some comments. If you guys want to play Mobius Final Fantasy or just learn more about it, do check out the full review on MMOs.com on the link below. So let's go and get started. First things first, a little back story about the game. It released back in 2016 on mobile, and then it released in February 2017 on PC on Steam. And we are, of course, playing the Steam version because PC Master Race. Well, beyond that, of course, the PC Steam version actually has HD graphics, 60 FPS, and a bunch of other goodies. But in its core, Mobius Final Fantasy is a mobile game. So some of the core gameplay here is pretty straightforward. Much of it is automated. There's an auto gameplay option, but for now we're going to skip that. And we can basically fight some of these encounters, and every time we click on it, do a basic attack, we draw some of these skill orbs. Now that we have 3 fires, we can cast this if we get 2 more, so we can't do anything quite yet. So every time you attack, you get some of these random draws up top. The story behind this game, the spiel behind Mobius Final Fantasy, is that Square Enix wanted to make a mobile game that had the console quality of a traditional Final Fantasy game. So we got a shit ton of fires and a bunch of ice. So we're going to battle 2 out of 3. And now we can start using this lesser flame burst. We can cast it on that guy and boosh, massive AoE. Big deeps. And they came up with Mobius Final Fantasy. The game has voice acting. It's got a really great soundtrack. It's got gorgeous visuals. So it is a high production value game. Though in its core, it's still quite basic. Now that we get 1 attack in, we have 5 of these orbs. We can do lesser blizzard. Hit that guy up with the blizzard. It should be his weakness, and we got him. Of course, if you don't want to do the abilities manually, you can actually click auto. The abilities that you have equipped on the right side of the screen are based on what cards you actually have in your deck. So it does utilize some card building. There's some other RPG elements too. What job you choose in a character. We are currently a mage, and depending on what job you equip, you can actually get different stats. We're gonna run the game on autoplay right now because we're still pretty early on, and the combat is pretty easy early on. But you do have to turn off the autoplay when you're fighting bosses because the autoplay is pretty stupid, and you do require some tactical playing when you're doing that. There was a whole bunch of story scenes at the beginning, though. It wasn't like super interesting. For a Final Fantasy game, I was expecting a bit of a better intro, especially since they kind of build the game as like this mobile game that's supposed to have the console-style quality to it. And there we go, we did it. We got like the asshole Final Fantasy clothes on with the, like, you can see my sides, like what kind of weird shirt is my character wearing. But you can see our little stats at the end of the battle. You get these scores, and then it'll go to the next level. It is very much linear in progression, like most mobile games are. It does have some multiplayer components worth mentioning, some actual real-time multiplayer components. You can play with other people, get into your party, and do stuff together. Though early on, you won't be doing much of that. The only multiplayer you kind of experience early on is similar to the multiplayer in games like Puzzle and Dragon, where you get one of these random people in your own little party. Again, battle results, we got a new card over here. We got the Dust Warrior. He's got a 1-star, which means he probably sucks. Anyway, let's get out of there, and let's progress. Would you like to follow this player? No. So, at the beginning of every mission, you can use 1 random player on your party. Oh man, open that chest. What do we got? We got that elixir times 1. It's cool to see a mobile game on Steam, though, and the Steam version isn't just like a random port. The Steam version actually looks a lot nicer. We saved this Mog in our little story. That's a broad question, Mog. There was a lot of voice acting, and this is the first time we've seen dialogue without voice acting. I suspect some of the better, more story-driven scenes will still be voice acted. The Mog is talking to us. Look how cute that Moogle is. Alright, connecting. And now we get to go to Warhaven. Nope, not quite yet. That is our destination. So we go to our card menu, show you some of the customization. The game does utilize a stamina system, which is unfortunate because it kind of restricts your play. Never really understood the mentality. Maybe they want to monetize it. I don't know. But if I want to no-life a game, let me no-life the game. But again, if your stamina runs out, you do have to wait for it to refill. Luckily, ours is full right now. But you go to decks, you can see what jobs you have. We only have 3 jobs right now. The starter deck is called the Onion Knight. That's one of the jobs. If we become an Onion Knight, these stats change. If we become a Neophyte Ranger, we get these stats. Right now, we are rocking the Mage, which we'll stick with for now. The more you play one, the more you level up and whatnot. And you can see your skill panel. After these fights, you get these. You can basically get experience to go through the skill tree. And once you reach all of these, you can unlock a mage to get the new job. But you need 1 crystal for this. It's only accessible after opening all the other panels. So you can job change basically after you unlock everything here. We can just auto unlock for now too. And yep, there we go. We got magic plus 10%. So there's a job system, and I think what job you choose kind of affects what cards you can have equipped. We have these 3 spells equipped right now, and your spells are essentially what cards are in your deck, and they have different strengths and weaknesses, and they level up. We're gonna stick with what I have equipped right now. We can't equip this one for whatever reason, unusable, maybe not usable in this deck. We can add this guy to our deck too, because you get 4 cards. And let's jump back into an actual game. Click home, and let's jump into the Verdant stand and do this real quick. And again, before you begin, you get to choose one of these random a-holes to add to your party who can draft with you. We'll get this level 51 because it's probably way better. I never understood that mentality, like this system in these mobile games where you get like a guy in your party, like from a random person on the internet, and it's supposed to make it more multiplayer, even though it's really not. But there is some actual multiplayer, we're not there yet. I don't think there's any PvP just yet, but I suspect there might be some later on. Again, the auto combat is pretty much, you can just run through all the easy content with it. It's only when you have to really think about what you want to cast, you really have to decide then. These early encounters are super easy. When you do a boss, then you can think about it. I do believe there's some RNG in the game too. We turn it off, for example. Every time you hit, the cards you draw up over here, these skill orbs, I do believe those are random. So, and your abilities require a certain number of these orbs. If we get 2 purples, we'll be able to cast Haste that we got from our guy. And I'm going to put it back on auto for now. So what you cast in the order is kind of important, and you can kind of take advantage of enemy weaknesses. I'm not sure if the autoplay will do that though. It is very much like a mobile game though, because you can't really customize your character. You can get gear and stuff, but like your appearance is very much it's just this, you know. And it changes based on, I guess, what job you've equipped. But it's not really an MMO. It does have a lot of people do play online, and you do have party finding in the PvE missions with other people. So it's got some MMO elements, I guess, but it's largely a mobile game ported over to PC. I kind of hope you can play the PC version and the mobile version on like the same account. That would be super useful, actually. Not sure if that's a thing though. And you see your global rank over here. It doesn't really matter. We're pretty new to the game. We have I think 11,000 gil right now, but let's see. You get your skill seeds at the end of the battle results, and these skill seeds are used to unlock essentially new skills for each job. And you get a whole bunch of them, and I guess you can level up all your jobs at once that way. And different jobs, again, change your stats, so it makes different cards more effective and whatnot. There's a decent amount of customization, but each of the combat stuff is really fast-paced. Vox is kind of like the voice in my head so far that's been kind of telling me what's going on. Garland was some random dude who walked by, and apparently he's a heretic. Where's the adherence? Why, right here. You and me, master. Okay, Mog and me are adherents to something, and that guy, some guy who was with us earlier, is a heretic. Storytelling so far, production value has been pretty great. You guys didn't hear any of the voice acting just yet. Who's that random asshole? He's waving to us. So we're going to Warhaven right now. Difficulty is 3 stars, and you get bonuses on the first clears. You can probably grind them if you want more resources and whatnot. But we haven't heard too much voice acting since I started recording, actually. Let's grab this level 34 and click OK. And of course, what you pick over there kind of you would pick it based on what map you're on. If you have issues with the map, you can choose something that counters it and whatnot. The core gameplay is actually really simple. It's really simple. If you play Puzzle and Dragons, it's got that same kind of odd system of the grabbing NPC. I think we're fighting a boss right now. Battle 1 out of 3. JK, it's not a boss. I believe when that meter underneath falls down, we can see basically this guy's fire. We want to counter it with ice spells. We don't want to be using our fire spells, but we don't have any points on that just yet. And I think when the meter falls underneath, he kind of falls down. He gets broken, and he gets kind of just on the floor. Again, it's super easy until you get to the bosses. And then later on, I mean, it'll require you to kind of mix and match your deck to fit each situation. There is some depth here, but it's also just very, like, face roll easy for a while. This is one of those games where if you play long enough, it can get fun and challenging, but it won't be that way right away. I mean, my hands are off the keyboard right now, so it's very easy for me to talk because we're auto-playing it again. Again, you can pick which ability to use once it's all filled up, which is why, again, I don't need to do anything right now because we can only use one ability anyway right now. Where the strategy comes into play isn't really what abilities you use, it's what cards you equip for each situation, how you build your decks, and again, it's really only 4 cards anyway, but like what you bring into each battle kind of via trial and error if you're having issues. That's really the only strategy. Like if we get dumpstered by this guy, we can put more ice stuff in our deck maybe. We pretty much beat him anyway. And you can also choose which companion you bring with you of the random people we see online. And this game is doing quite well actually. It launched again on February, I think 6th of 2017. The Steam version And the Steam version is absolutely killing it. Actually, we might actually die. Nah, easy. We're auto-playing it, boys. We cast one ice move, we got him, see? We got him with the weakness. But the Steam version has about 8,000 players online as of this video. So it's got a big player base. You wouldn't think if they just port over a mobile game and up the graphics, increase the FPS, make it look really nice, that it would get such a big player base on Steam. But apparently that is the case. You know, they took a mobile. It still plays like a mobile game, but it's got way better graphics. I suspect we got our stamina restored. We leveled up, or we have level 9 Apprentice Mage now. I suspect we're going to be seeing more mobile games come to Steam and just kind of remastered for PC release, because this game looks gorgeous. Like, it's a mobile game and it doesn't look nearly as good on mobile. It still looks sharp, but it looks top notch on PC. We are not going to follow this player because we give no Fs. Open that chest. What do we got? We got a Cactuar, a 2-star Cactuar. It's a new card, right? Hidden treasure in Warhaven. And you kind of get presented with the story stuff as you kind of get through. Like, after X number of missions, it's kind of presented to you slowly. We're on chapter 1 right now. Adventurer, 30 beasts slain in a single day. Did you see my footwork? Who are these assholes? Are they just bragging to me? Yeah, that's right. Shut up. That's what I'm thinking. And what are these assholes? Look, what are they wearing? They're wearing like these butcher aprons with like sleeveless butcher aprons and like no shirt on. Like, I don't even understand. Vox, were you watching? Whoa, this guy's talking about Vox. He's got a voice in his head too. Alright, so apparently, wait, they say victory in battle feels good, Koopa. You get lost in the feeling. So I guess that's supposed to represent other people on this journey. And I just kind of like, I was kind of like floating through space, and we found ourselves on this planet. I think it was called Permisia. There you'll be flower and hope. And I'm hoping the story picks up because I've been reading the text. But I feel like these games, JRPGs generally, they have to start strong because it can lose you otherwise early on. I mean, I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy games, Tales games, Persona. I've played a lot of JRPGs, but this game is trying to build itself as a console high-quality version of Final Fantasy on mobile. And of course, we're playing on PC though, not mobile. But it hasn't really delivered that to me yet. I mean, the graphics are gorgeous, the sound is decent, the voice acting and production value is good, but the story so far has been pretty lackluster. I'm sure it'll pick up though. We get 10 million gil for free. Nice. That made all our gil earlier utterly useless. And you use gil to, I think, fuse some of your cards. I'm not sure what else it does. But we got a crystal now too. You can use crystals. They look like minerals from StarCraft. You can use those to get job advancements. So I'm not sure how rare those are just yet. Holy crap, you get a lot of these daily gifts. Holy crap, 5,000? Oh, I'm going to claim all of these. And taking all of these should give me enough like to job change, I believe. So the game is going to be even easier now. So let's go back to our card menu. Let's go to Dex. And let's skill panel. And we should be able to unlock everything with all the currency we just got, didn't we? Yeah, we unlocked everything. And now we can get a new job. Let's get that mage. We got 1 crystal. Well, it takes 1. We got 2. So we're going to get a job change in that. We unlocked a new job. Skill panel complete. Revel in my newfound power. So will I ever have to go back to this job? Or is the new mage job just better in every way? I guess we'll find out. Advanced jobs tutorial. Here we go. Certain panels in the skill can be unlocked. Blah, blah, blah. You need to change jobs to use... Okay, let's go change jobs. Oh, we change it from here. Okay, interesting. So we're still a mage. But instead of apprentice mage now, we're a regular mage. So I guess you're still the base mage, but you just kind of job advance every single time. So now we're a regular mage, which is, I guess, just boosting your stats. You can change your gear as well. But I think the only gear you can change is your weapon. And that's really it. And you can see our abilities right now based on what cards we equipped and what they do. Again, you can see all your individual cards over here too. Get out of there. And I guess we're done over here. Let's jump back in. The fact that the game gave you 10 million gil and a shit ton of these basic resources let us basically skip past all the progression over here super easily. So now we can be a white mage when we get more of these. Can we get more of these? Unlock? We got basically almost everything. The game gave you so much stuff early on. But now it's going to require way more points. It requires 500, 500. So now it's starting to slow down the progression. But if you come back and get those daily rewards, you can probably do this really, really quickly. Alright, we get another menu. Certain panels unlock. Okay, we got a new weapon now, I guess. Nice. Boosh. So you get new weapons via the skill panel, which is odd. You wouldn't think the skill panel gives you new gear. You'd think it gives you skills. But we're almost at the Runic Temple. But anyway, let's go to the Blessed Rise. Click go. And we can't use that guy. So let's see who we can grab. We're going to grab the highest level guy. It's going to be this level 15, I believe, is the highest level over here. He's got Flame Blast. He's level 15, so let's use him. Alright, nice. We got a little robotic mascot now. We look a little bit different now that we changed our jobs. So all these, they look like such assholes. All the NPCs in the background. I could have sworn we fought this guy like 3 times already. 4th time's the charm. Ultimately, Mobius Final Fantasy, it just feels like a mobile game. But again, a huge audience is playing it through Steam. It's a more polished mobile game, but it's still really basic. I feel like this is one of those games you can kind of play. It's a little bit more advanced version of like Clicker Heroes and Cookie Clicker, because like the strategy element and collecting cards and upgrading cards and customizing, like that stuff is fun, but it just feels face roll easy early on. Like it's something you can do kind of on the side and then see if your deck works. I just don't see why like I would have to not autoplay. Because the difficulty, I feel like, the strategy almost comes like what cards you use in battle and how you set up your deck, rather than what abilities you use. Because like for example, we just stop right now. I literally can't use any of my abilities. I need to do an auto attack. There's no other option auto attack, so we auto attack, right? Now I can still only auto attack, so we auto attack again. It feels like almost all my moves are like locked in already. Okay, now we have a choice now. I can actually use Lesser Blizzard or Fire Blast. So here we do have a choice, because we actually got enough points for both. Normally you'd only have enough points for one, so there'd be no choice. So we can use Lesser Blizzard because he's got fire, and then we're gonna do our weakness on him. Autoplay might not have done that, so I don't know. We can auto attack him again, but I mean, let's just auto attack him. It does less damage, but if we do fire, it's not really gonna do damage. Let's just use it anyway. Why not, right? Again, 69 damage, but it did get rid of these extra orbs. So I think if our orbs fill up, it's no good anyway. So it feels like your choice is kind of limited. So we got his break. We can't cast anything just yet. Again, we auto attack. So you can really leave an autoplay for the most part, and you can really set your tactics outside of each individual match. Again, there's some depth to the game, but the core gameplay is almost like an advanced version of Cookie Clicker, if that makes sense. But presentation-wise, it's gorgeous. I do feel like the autoplay kind of cheapens it, but for the kind of game it is, I feel like this does need autoplay. You know, whereas a lot of mobile MMORPGs that have autoplay feel really cheap, I actually think it kind of makes sense here, based on the way the game is structured. It'd be kind of silly to not have it, actually, because there's really no actual micromanaging required anyway. I'm hoping it does get more complex later where it does matter, but super early on, it definitely doesn't. I did have trouble with one, like the first boss, because I didn't grab any of the free shit you get for like newbie rewards. But when you get all that stuff, you unlock all the skills and you advance your job, it does get easier. Now we are level 10 on our mage, so it doesn't reset when we change to the advanced mage. And we got a lot, like, we only got 18 over here, right? But we had so many from earlier from our daily login rewards. So you get a ton of these skill seeds just for logging in. But again, the game is doing well. If you like Final Fantasy, I say at least try it. At least give it a whirl. 5,000 gil. Too bad that's meaningless because the game gave us a free 20 million or 10 million gil for free. But it's supposed to be a console quality game. That's kind of their spiel. Though it hasn't really lived up to it just yet. We're just seeing a lot of like, every NPC looks like an asshole with his like, half apron on and no shirt. Like, who designed this guy? Like, he looks awful. At least the main character, like, at least he looked like something. This guy looks like a douchebag. He's even got the slick back douchebag hair. Alright. This guy, I don't know. There's something with these aprons that's kind of... Why do they all look the same, too? Like, every little NPC we saw, these adventures that ran by look the same. But maybe they're supposed to represent, I think, just other players on the same journey or something. But it's not bad, right? It's not bad. For the kind of game it is, I see what it's trying to do. And either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's not really... You won't be, like, in the middle. But it's a game you can just kind of leave on your monitor, kind of do your jazz. If you have multiple monitors, it's a good game for that. But it'd be really cool if you can actually multi-platform it, play it on mobile and on PC if you're at home. That'd be kind of neat. So we are at a Runic Temple now. I think this might be a boss stage. Something special. But we're already way over our time limit for this. If you guys do want to play Mobius Final Fantasy, or just learn more about it, do check out the full review on MMOs.com on the link below. Anyway, guys, later.